I'd like to thank you as our partner on this project for taking the time to watch this video and for personally committing to join us in supporting a culture of safety on site every day. The very first thing we need to build together as a team is a safe environment for our people. So it matters not only what you do to ensure your personal safety, but also how you help watch out for others, calling attention to it anytime, anywhere you see something that's not right and that could lead to an accident or injury. Going home safe to our loved ones every night is more than a goal. It's a mission and a promise we need to make to each other every day. It's why we say, safety, it's how we live. Thanks again for doing your part. Count on us to do ours.
The objective of this video is to clearly communicate the Christman Company's commitment to safety and to provide a brief overview and orientation of the elements within our project-specific safety plan. We care about your safety. The decisions you make regarding safe methods and behaviors will impact you, others working nearby, and potentially others not even involved with the project. Choosing to perform any task with the wrong tool, method, or a risky behavior could result instantly in a lifelong consequence. Please plan and perform your work with safety as the first consideration. It is each subcontractor's responsibility to provide a safe work environment for their people, and the Christman Company will support you in your efforts to provide that safe work environment. If you have a safety concern which you cannot resolve, please bring it to our attention immediately. Thank you in advance for your commitment to a safe job site.
This project for the University of Michigan is to construct a new 3-story addition to the existing A. Alfred Taubman College of Architecture and Urban Planning building, as well as renovate several interior spaces in the existing building. The project is estimated to last for 20 months, with owner handoff of the new addition scheduled for May 2017, and the interior renovations being completed by July 2017. Each trade contractor has been provided with a copy of the Christman Project Safety Manual. If you have not received a copy from your office, please contact your project manager. We expect each trade contractor to have a copy on site for reference and expect that you will abide by the rules listed within. All visitors to the site are to be directed to check in at the Christman site office. Visitors will be required to watch this video as part of the safety orientation to the site. An employee familiar with the site shall accompany all visitors that are not sufficiently familiar with the site and its current operation status. Report all injuries or accidents, regardless of the severity, to your supervisor or Christman immediately. All of the incident shall be verbally reported to the Christman Company the day of the incident and followed up in writing on the proper forms within 24 hours. Post-accident drug testing is a mandatory requirement. All workers injured or involved with an accident or accidents involving property damage require a drug and alcohol test to be performed. Failure to take a test within 8 hours of an accident or a positive test will result in dismissal from the project site. It is important to recognize and follow any posted precautions and procedures which may be around the site. Be aware of exit locations when inside a building or elsewhere on the site. Do not block emergency exits with materials or equipment. If emergency exits are not easily identifiable, please bring it to the attention of your supervisor immediately. In the event of an emergency, you are to exit the site in an orderly fashion to a safe distance from the building, and then contact your supervisor for further direction. An emergency evacuation and general action plan for the site has been established that shall be adhered to. In the event of an emergency, it is important to immediately report to your foreman. At no time should you talk to the media regarding a crisis at the site. Your foreman will report to the Christman representative, who will direct the media to the appropriate spokesperson. The use of personal protective equipment such as hard hats, safety glasses, and safety vests or high visibility clothing is to be anticipated while on this project. The requirements for this PPE are posted. No shorts, tennis shoes, or sleeveless shirts are allowed. Jewelry such as bracelets, necklaces, rings, and earrings are not to be worn during operations where they present hazards to the wearer. Prior to using protective equipment, inspect it to make sure that it is in proper working condition. If you are exposed to a fall in excess of 6 feet, proper fall protection measures shall be in use at all times. Our fall protection requirements are more stringent than those of the OSHA requirements and shall be strictly adhered to. This includes the proper implementation and use of fall protection systems, handrails, guardrails, barricades, and hole covers. Monitors for roofing work are not allowed. Any work beyond a warning line requires 100% tie-off. If your work requires you to wear a respirator, make sure that you understand your employer's written respiratory program and that you have been properly trained relative to the need for use, fitting, fit testing, cleaning, and storage of the respirator. Lead-based paint is known to exist on this project. If your work activities may disturb the lead-based paint, you must perform an initial exposure assessment to determine the required PPE to wear, engineering controls to put in place, and training to be administered. If you discover or suspect lead-based paint, notify your supervisor or Christman immediately. Asbestos is known to exist on this project. If your work activities are within close proximity and there's potential to disturb the asbestos, you must have 2-hour asbestos awareness training. If you discover or suspect a material to contain asbestos, immediately suspend work activities and notify your supervisor or Christman. Cell phones shall only be used in designated areas. All other cell phone usage is prohibited other than at designated break and lunch times. Radios and personal listening devices are not permitted on site during the course of this project. The use of tobacco products will only be allowed in designated areas. Safety signage is important to warn of existing and potential hazards. It is imperative gates, barricades, and signage remains in place at all times to keep safe separation between the construction operations and the general public. If you notice a barricade or sign missing or out of place, please correct the condition or notify Christman. Each subcontractor and supplier in advance of material deliveries shall provide the safety data sheets, SDSs, and a copy of their company safety program. A master file of SDSs and safety programs will be kept in the site office for your use. Compliance with the safe storage, use, and disposal requirements as outlined on labels and SDSs is mandatory for all users. If you have any questions regarding the proper usage, storage, or disposal of a product, contact your supervisor. Material storage is to be coordinated with the site superintendent. A designated laydown area has been established for material storage. Contractors are to make provisions for materials that need to be securely locked up. The existing structure will remain fully operational at all times, no exceptions. Owners, occupants, and guests may be in close proximity to the work area, and all workers must be aware and respectful of their presence. Please be aware and especially cautious of the existing owner operations that will be occurring on the site, including but not limited to maintenance operations, deliveries, security rounds, and inspections of the work. It is important to note that the area surrounding the project site will be in use by the owner and the general public. Extreme caution must be used when entering and leaving the project site. All work is to be maintained within the fenced area. If work is to be performed outside of the fenced area, it must be coordinated first with Christman. At no time are workers to be under a suspended load or material hoisted over an occupied area. When hoisting or lifting near occupied areas, the operator is required to sound their horn. The flight path of hoisted materials must be planned and communicated with all other trades working in the area. When directing traffic, it is important to use stop-slow paddles and wear the proper PPE. Additional barricading may also be required if traffic is diverted in any way. Underground utilities are present on this project site. Please be aware of their location as it relates to your work. Look closely for utility markings and proceed with excavation only after the utility has been properly exposed. You must locate the utilities by hand prior to exposing with operated equipment. All hot work done within any building enclosure requires a hot work permit issued by Christman that must be displayed within the work area. Any hot work done at the project site requires the following: a mandatory fire watch. Contractor-supplied fire extinguishers must be in the immediate area. Workers must be trained to use fire extinguishers. Prior to the start of hot work, the area surrounding the proposed work zone and any floors or levels below must be inspected for flammable or combustible material. Any flammable or combustible material discovered must be removed. During masonry construction, restricted zones will be established by the masonry contractor. All contractors needing to access or work within the restricted zone are responsible to monitor the wind speed, allow only trained workers in the zone, and remain in full compliance with OSHA masonry standards. Work hours will be set by Christman and coordinated with the owner. Typical work hours will be from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Any work to be performed outside of the days and times must be coordinated in advance with Christman. The entire list of general job site rules are posted in the Christman job site office, but here are a few that we would like to point out. Keep your mind on your work at all times. Horseplay will not be tolerated. Fall protection is mandatory when working above 6 feet. Watch where you are walking and do not run. Rope off or barricade danger areas. Do not enter an area that has been roped off or barricaded. If you must work around backhoes, cranes, trucks, and dozers, make sure the operator is aware of your presence. When excavations are 4 feet or greater in depth, you must have a ladder, and over 5 feet must be shored or sloped as required. Keep out of excavations that have not been properly sloped or shored. Know where firefighting equipment is located and learn how to use it. A clean workplace is a safe workplace. Each person on the project is responsible to keep the workplace free from trash and debris. In order to achieve this, it is up to you to make sure these general housekeeping tips are followed. Trash and debris is picked up and disposed of frequently to keep areas from becoming unsafe. Sweep floors at the end of every shift, or more frequently if required. Trash, such as drinking cups, cans, and scraps from lunch are to be disposed of properly in marked containers. Material and equipment are to be stacked and stored in an orderly manner out of walkways and stairs. If oil, grease, or other such liquid is spilled, it shall be cleaned up at the time of the spill. The overall cleanliness of this project not only reflects how safe it is, but also is an indicator of our commitment as a team to provide the owner with the highest quality work possible. Thank you for watching this safety orientation video and for being a strong partner in uniting great people in great achievement.